Just a quick question on the unanticipated, I think you said sales tax and franchise fee revenue? Oh, utility?
Yeah.
Thank you. Can you kind of walk me through how come we can't anticipate that? No fault of yours. I'm sure there's a mechanism that I'm missing from the state or.
Well, I don't know how you would ever get to the number. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, I guess, so yeah.
Justin O'Connell.
I'm here tonight in a sales capacity for central planning. I've been watching hours and hours of city council going back to as far as we can, and I know just the thing you need. I have a limited time offer on the central planning crystal ball. It just so happens we're offering the central planning crystal ball on a limited time offer, $10,000 for the next 60 seconds. That's just the cost of 1 year, the first year of AutoCast, the audio app we bought for the guided tour of the town's art, $10,000 plus $5,000 every year. The central planning crystal ball doesn't just accompany you on your walk through town and describe the inspiration behind all the objects. It predicts future events. Inspired by John Maynard Keynes, central planning crystal ball was designed by two of our top minds, Paul Krugman and Jim Kramer, with input from Dr. Alexandria Stein. He's a epidemiologist. It's very important that you have epidemiologists on your crystal ball algorithm team. Just ask central planning crystal ball, and you can know how much taxes you'll have the following year. Want to know the best place to put, say, a Trader Joe's or IKEA? Just ask central planning crystal ball. Those are on Mrs. Central Planning's wish list, by the way. Can we get them in time for Christmas? Central Planning Crystal Ball says yes if we offer large corporations financial incentives, Iron Man. Central Planning Crystal Ball serves many purposes. Have a fellow council member who keeps cautioning from spending because he was predicting a housing market correction, which is definitely not happening right now, and also inflation and economic crisis. Central Planning Crystal Ball will conveniently contradict all of this. Central Planning Crystal Ball. Should council members be afraid of inflation? No, inflation is good for you. Central Planning Crystal Ball. Should we assume an ever-increasing tax base? Yes, just raise taxes. Central Planning Crystal Ball. Should we worry about diseases being spread by the unkept porta potties? No. Plus, they remind California transplants of home. It's a true story, actually. I walked into one and I was like, "What is this? Is it the Tenderloin? Is it Skid Row?" No, it was downtown TJ. With Central Planning Crystal Ball, you'll know when and how to use eminent domain. Okay. Critics of the central planning crystal ball might evoke praxeology. In praxeology, A causes B, other things remaining the same, so you can easily predict. But in the real world, things don't remain constant, so you can't predict that A will lead to B. We've been selling the central planning ball now for decades. Don't read the reviews. It predicted depression after World War II and got it wrong. It did not see dollar devaluation after 1971. It missed the savings and loan crisis, dot-com crash, housing market crash, Great Recession, pandemic, missed it all. But we've been honing this thing, and I think we've really got it working good right now, and it can be yours now for just $20,000, but only if you act now. That's not even the cost of Ironman, for which I believe we pay between $36,000 and $70,000. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask Mr. O'Connell a question?
I'm sorry?
May I ask him a question?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connell, I just am curious, do you have a YouTube channel or something where we can follow your posts, or do you post your monologues somewhere?
I do.
What's the name of that?
GoldSilverBitcoin.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Thank you. Can we get the medical passports for, we'll talk about that later.
Okie dokie.
If proof is voluntarily provided at the time, it would negate an infraction from occurring at all. But if the person said, "I don't have that kind of proof," they have the ability to bring it back to Wes's office later, and the ticket will be thrown out.
What kind of proof are you talking about?
If someone can voluntarily want to say they have a medical condition and they feel comfortable.
Medical papers. So do you have your medical papers on you?
I'm not going to go down that road with
You
you,
just
Dan, and I know
did.
where you're going. But a person who is willing and wanting to be in compliant with it and feels comfortable providing that paperwork to an officer, they should have the ability to do so to avoid an infraction. If they don't want to do that, And
How
the
do you not see
officer's
that's exactly
obligated-
asking someone for their papers?
Excuse me, I'm talking.
Your medical documentation.
I'm talking.
Dan, let's let Kiki finish, please.
If the person wants to do that voluntarily, if they don't, our law enforcement has asked us for clear direction. Do we give them a ticket or do we not? They can give them a warning, or they have the ability to give them a ticket, and that person can provide that paperwork to the office just like wherever it may come from. And Wes has stated that that happens all the time. So it shouldn't be a huge new process or a burden on the office, and then that ticket will be thrown out. So I just feel like that, otherwise, you've just created something that everyone can say, I have a medical condition, and we're right back where we started.